We are live. Well, we're not streaming anymore, but we're live for rebroadcast. So today we actually have two guests, which we've never had before. So I was thinking we're going to do things slightly differently than we normally do. Where I'm going to still have everyone go around and just give a little, do a quick introduction, but I'm going to keep the everyone giving their topics until after the guests speak, just to keep things a little flowing a little easier and faster. So I will start. I am Papa Bear, and I run the Solar Farm Orchestrator, which I started in July of last year. And today I am filling in for Titan Node, running the water cooler, Livepeer water cooler. Pawn, would you like to introduce yourself?
Evening, everyone. I'm Pawn. I've been running my own Orchestrator since April this year. I don't have a topic, so I'm just going to be listening in today. Cheers.
If you come up with one, we're not taking topics right now anyway, so no problem. Eric, you want to?
It's all right. It's just what I'm used to all the time.
Glad you're here. Eric, do you want to introduce yourself and let some of the new people know who you are?
Yeah, sure. Hey, everybody. I'm Eric 3.0. I am the community manager here at Livepeer. Just excited to be hanging out with everybody.
So thanks for coming. Tech 21. Do you want to give a little, tell us who you are?
Yeah, hey, my name's Travis, and I've been using Mist Server. That's how I found out about Livepeer when you guys took over that project. So excited to be here and learn more and see what everybody's up to. We got a project called Not TV, so we're building a cooperative community of content creators. So looking forward
Awesome.
to how we can contribute. Yeah.
Awesome, and a Mist user too. So that's yeah, we don't run into a lot of those. So nice to hear. I mean, other than the the people that we have over here that that have come from the Mist team. So
Nice.
good to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's see. I'm terrible at pronouncing names here. Master. Oh, I'm not even going to try and butcher that. Tell us
Hi
something
everyone,
about yourself.
I'm Master JP.
Okay.
Yeah, really happy to be here and learn more about Livepeer. I know a bit more the team from Video Oracle, and yeah, glad to see as well how the ecosystem is here. Nice to meet you all. I work in business development, outreach, and a bit of strategy as well.
Well, thanks for coming, and we will definitely be chatting with you a little bit later. Jack, Design Explorer. How are you doing?
Hey guys. So I was part of the Video Oracle original hackathon team, and I may be coming in again to start helping develop the product further after the other two guys who are about to introduce themselves took it to the stage it's at. So yeah, I'm excited to be here and learn more about the community and hear the feedback. So thanks.
Great. I'm glad we have a nice turnout from the Video Oracle side. Good to have you here. Okay, here we go again with me butchering a name.
No worries.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Save me.
I saw it was up to me. Hi everyone. Another Jack. I don't know if everybody here knows what Video Oracle is. It's been mentioned a couple of times. We'll give more context later on. I participated in the development of Video Oracle. Been in crypto for a few years now, and I look forward to hearing the feedback that you guys will give us.
Awesome. Yeah, I've read the white paper, but which is obviously pretty clear on what it is, but that's my extent of knowledge on what it is. So I'm curious to hear more from you guys. And Code thy zine you want to give us
It's
a quick little?
Codetazine. It's pretty complicated. I'm sorry for the
Okay.
name.
No, I'm terrible with sounding things out, so appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, don't worry. So yeah, I'm Dario. I'm a part of the Video Oracle team, and nothing. I'm happy to be here, get to know the community better, and share what we've been working on, and get some feedback on it. And looking forward to it.
Awesome. So we will get back to you guys very shortly. We've got two more just quick intros here. Speedy Bird, tell us about yourself.
Sure. Hey, everybody. I'm a new orchestrator, started about 6 days ago. I've been in IT industry for a couple decades and crypto for 5+ years. And at this stage, looking to grow out the footprint I have here for Livepeer. I'm involved in a number of other crypto endeavors and also working with an artificial intelligence security firm that does video processing.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you here, and yeah, welcome. And we will. I probably have some questions for you based on what your background. And Tony, do you want to give us a quick intro, and then Tony's another one of the guests today, and he'll be talking about his project WebEddy, but I'll let him tell us more or introduce himself.
Hi guys, I'm Tony from Web3Eddy. So we're a decentralized education platform, and we are using Livepeer because we like it, and it's cool. So yeah, we're gonna present a bit more and tell you a bit more about what we've been working on. We're a grantee, so yeah, we're still gonna be keeping with it afterwards. So yeah, if you have any questions about what we're working on after we've presented what we're working on, definitely give me a shout. Thank you.
Thank you for that intro, and we will very excited to hear more about your project very shortly. Ben, did you want to give us a quick little intro?
Sure. Hey guys, I'm Ben. Been running the Authority Null Orchestrator for just about a year now. Super excited to see all these new people in here. It's pretty awesome.
So always good to have you here, Authority Null. And then I saw Mad Max. You just popped in there. Do you want to tell us who you are? If not, there you go.
Yeah, I just joined in. I haven't been in a water cooler before, so it seems like an interesting. So just here to listen. Actually, it's time.
We're happy to have you here, and feel free to jump in with any questions you have as we move along. So since we have two guests, I am going to turn it over to the Video Oracle guys. But I don't know. Do you guys? Is there someone who wants to? I don't know how you guys want to do it. Is there someone that wants to start off? Are you guys trading around, or just going to jump in, or do you?
I think I'll just go and maybe call some of the other members of the team, especially in the Q&A, and yeah.
Sounds good. Let us know about Video Oracle.
Okay, definitely. So let's just start with a bit of history about Video Oracle. So Video Oracle started out at the NFT Berlin hackathon in June, and we started developing it with like Jack, who is here, and Emiliano, and yeah, we basically just were looking at all the products that all the sponsors were offering, and most of them were like pretty standard basic crypto stuff, but Livepeer was like something, I don't know, something different. And we started thinking of like what's the real utility of a blockchain. It's like verifying stuff and giving like immutability and recording actually what happens. And that's kind of the same thing that video does. So kind of trying to apply that logic, we came up with Video Oracle, which is basically a way to verify real world events on chain. So we started working on it. We hacked it together in one day, I think, 1-2 days, I don't remember, but were pretty hectic hours, and it was really fun. And yeah, we were fortunate enough to be among the winning projects that day. And yeah, it was super cool. Like, it was actually my first hackathon, so amazing experience there. So after the hackathon, Sean actually reached out to us, and she was like, "Hey, we like what you guys are doing. Do you want to continue building on it?" And we were like, "Sure." Like we were already loving to work in those hours, so yeah, we basically decided to shoot a grant proposal to the Livepeer team, and yeah, we were fortunate enough to be among the people who received one of these grants. So basically, when we proposed the grant, we wanted to develop a whole app, and there was a bit of a concern about actually the capability of the protocol. Like, is this actually possible to do something like this? And so they basically Nelson taught us like, okay, let's just start with a research grant. And he actually posted the two articles that were about ZK rollups, and he was like, okay, do something like this. And we definitely misunderstood what he said, and we started thinking, how can we apply ZK rollup to what we are doing? But what he actually meant was like, okay, write a research paper in this kind of format, this kind of style. But we actually went ballistic and decided to develop the whole protocol. So we finished the research paper, and which became then white paper, and basically started developing the protocol right along. And we deployed it a couple of weeks ago, and basically next steps are deploying a DApp. But I think that's enough with the history. So I'll just give you an overview of what it is. So let's just start from the problem first. So today, real-world events are actually complex and expensive to verify. There's a lack of trust and proof and transparency across parties. And what we are actually doing is providing a way to verify these real-world events through video. And so the long format of what we are is actually a protocol to verify real world events on chain through videos. But a really short form of what that is that we are crowdsourcing reality. We are actually giving everyone the opportunity to share reality through video and put it on chain. So this is basically what we are doing. And we started off with the main concern, the main problem we had is, how do we actually verify this in a trustable way? And the way we came up about it was to divide the responsibility. So we basically have three parties, and these three parties are the requester, the verifier, and the voter. The requesters are the parties that submit verification requests. So I don't know, can you verify that this work has been done on this street? The verifier is someone who like submits a verification video to this request, so goes around with their cell phone and makes this video. And the voters are the people who are responsible for electing the video. And the verifiers, like the voters, can actually also be verifier, but just from a protocol standpoint, it makes more sense to divide them. And this basically creates this kind of shared responsibility among the parties. So let's just go through a real world scenario. Let's just say maybe, I don't know, I'm Nike and I want to make sure that my shoes are displayed in the main window shop of Walmart. I don't know. And what basically I can do is like create this request with the location, the answer type I'm expecting, the reward that's going to be given to the verifier and the voters, the deadline, so the timestamp after which the request is expired, and the minimum number of votes. When I create this request, the verifiers in that area can actually record the video verification, submit the video verification to the protocol, and the voters are gonna vote the verification video and select the request they want to vote on, stake an amount of tokens that's equal to the request reward divided by the minimum number of votes, and submit the vote for the selected video. And yeah, that's basically how it goes. And one of the cool things we actually developed a lot after the hackathon, after the initial MVP was the dispute mechanism, because you can imagine that if a lot of voters vote on the wrong video, you can actually get a wrong video on chain set as a real one. So basically what happens after the deadline has passed is that the requester can see this video and say, maybe, I don't know, they can open a dispute and they can say, okay, this is not true. So in that case, the voters that didn't vote for this video can actually go ahead and vote on the dispute. In the case that the dispute is successful for the requester, so the actual video wasn't like the right one, the requester gets his money back, and voters that didn't vote for the selected video are gonna get the money staked from the other voters. In the opposite sense, like the requester is gonna lose, like it's gonna pay the voter, and it's gonna get the money staked by the requester when he opened the dispute. So that's basically it from a technical and like history standpoint of Video Oracle. And talking about use cases. So one of the use cases, as I said, is the retail audit. So you can go into stores and verify that actually products are placed as intended by the manufacturer. Another use case is the due diligence for, like, I don't know, real estate. So see if something is actually how it appears to be in a, I don't know, in a online ad. You can do also like insurance appraisal, so checking and proving that insurance claims are actually right without sending an agent. And one of the really interesting things that we talked about in the past weeks and we are developing further is the idea of proof of real work and events. So you can actually audit climate efforts, ONG proofs, and third parties can give the quality of work that has been done. And also, this is a bit an odd use case, but that's actually also one of the potential use cases we could develop further. Is that the spying as a service? I don't know, like you can actually ask for people to go around, and maybe, I don't know, let's say you're a concerned parent and your kid says that he's in the park, like maybe a teenage kid, and you want to verify that actually your kid is there. You can go with your cell phone and earn a reward for making a video at that time, that location, proving that the kid is actually there playing in the park as the parents requested. So yeah, that's basically it. I'll be happy to answer any questions or any things you you have. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I'll open it up to anyone in the audience. Does anyone have any questions about Video Oracle works or anything that was mentioned? I had a question. So what I'm wondering is, like you were saying, like for like I guess it would work, or it would apply to most use cases. How, like, is there some sort of a screening process for the is the for the people that are doing the voting? Like, how do we know that, or how would you know that they're have like the how do we know that they can actually verify that the video is legitimate? Like, if it was like, let's say, like going back to your insurance example, like, I mean, it would, like, would they be expected to go to the area and look and see something physically themselves? Or I'm just trying to understand, like, how the voters would be vetted, and they're not just voting to try and make some crypto from just voting.
Yeah, that definitely is a great question, and yeah, we thought about this a lot, and because initially we didn't even had the voter as a third party proving that the request was right, because as I'd say, the thing is that in the case we didn't have a voter, all the responsibility of proving that the video is true would stand on the request, and we wanted to distribute that responsibility. Imagining a real world scenario, like when we would have that DApp, we think that voters could look at all the videos or maybe a big part of them and say maybe, I don't know, like discover patterns among them. So seeing if actually maybe we see one video that it's not like similar to others, they won't vote on that, and maybe they will just choose the best one and basically go with that. Also, another thing we were thinking of is employing how would I say, a voting, like not voting, but a rating system on the voters once we develop a DApp, and so maybe giving more weight to voters that have been voting successfully in the past. And also another big thing we employed to avoid tampering with the system is the staking, so that voters are actually incentivized to not vote randomly to just make a quick buck, because if they vote randomly and the video gets selected but the requester disputes it and the dispute is actually confirmed by the other voters, they can actually lose the amount they staked. So yeah, it's kind of a game theory scenario, and yeah, we thought that was a right balance between giving responsibility to everyone and creating a fault tolerant system.
Not actually. That makes a lot. I forget that there's a slashing or that you can loot, that you have to put up money to vote. So yeah, that is a deterrent right there. Another question, and I don't see where I put it. So if this stuff is all in a DApp, would it be? I mean, no, it's on the blockchain, but would it still be? Or would it be like open to the public, or you've got to be like a member of or part of a group to participate in these type of proofs? Like, is this
Now we
stuff
want to make it absolutely open to everyone and everybody. We definitely are thinking of creating like soup groups for, like, I don't know, insurance claims or like high risk things, so that maybe there will be like private requests or something, stuff like that. But as of now, we want to develop the most open and both to users and to use cases platform as possible.
Does anyone else have any other questions about Video Oracle?
I was wondering, is this suitable for like combat situations?
You mean like war zones?
Exactly.
I guess it could. Like, definitely, there are some really dark use cases that could be, sorry, done with this protocol, and yeah, combat situations could be one of them. Unfortunately,
how would you envision it being used in a combat situation, out of curiosity?
Is that a question for me or Tony?
No, for sorry, I wasn't checking the screen, so I don't really know who asked the previous question about combat situation.
I didn't ask the question myself, but I could suggest a use case, which is like verifying the location. If you're in Ukraine right now, for example, and we had given this to the Ukrainian side, it could be used to verify the location of forces in Ukraine. So publicly, you could put a request for location of forces, and those videos could be taken and uploaded to the system and verified. Does that sound feasible to you guys?
Yeah, maybe also like verifying the damage that has been done by a bomb could be one of the use cases. Like, let's say you get a bomb and you want to verify how much damage has been done. I don't know how the state would handle like reparations for damaged houses and even like just objects in that area. But I think that they would have to give like some reparations. In that case, like I'd say that the state would act kind of as an insurance provider. But I don't know how it works in the rest of the world. But like in Italy, when we have like natural catastrophes, like the state has to give the money to the people who have been hurt by this by the natural catastrophes. And I think that in war something like this could definitely be useful, not just be dangerous.
I imagine as well all the needs today of independent journalism, being able to document a war zone with the locals, giving them a source of income. It's a way of spreading information while as well supporting the locals there to tell the stories.
Those all seem like good use cases to me. I guess I have one more question. So is there like GPS data attached to the video? I mean, does that help, help to like in a word, just like to help prove that this person was in the right place to film the video?
Yes, there is. We have GPS location with the coordinates in the field requested for giving actually the response and the verification.
I'm gonna jump in real quick. I think Kodetazine might have misunderstood the question. There is no metadata attached to the video. There is only a location specified on the request. So the requester specifies the location. And you bring up a very good point about having metadata attached to the video. I honestly am a bit ignorant at this point. I don't know if Livepeer allows to have metadata attached to the video. But if it is, then it would be a great addition to the system. Absolutely.
Thanks actually for jumping in there, because that is actually I saw that metadata is that the GPS location is sent out as part of the request, so that's why I was wondering if it was incorporated in the video proof. But as far as I know, Livepeer does not support that type of metadata. Or I guess I'm not sure what metadata Livepeer actually supports. So it would be interesting to see if there's a way to somehow still even incorporate that, whether it's something through the side, or I'm not that technical, so I don't know. But it seems like it would be a helpful thing to prove that someone was actually in the right spot when the video was taken.
Absolutely.
Um,
I'm gonna make it because it's a very good point. Thank you.
And unless anyone else has any other questions, actually, does anyone else have any other questions or comments? Or
I might just ask something. So, obviously, I've been away from the team for a while. Just to say, I was part of the hackathon effort, and now I'm kind of coming back in and finding out more. I'm wondering, maybe to the guys who have been developing it, do you guys have any questions for orchestrators right now, or any concerns about orchestrators' roles in this? And I wonder, is there any way that you plan to interact with orchestrators, and what support you need from orchestrators?
to be honest, this being a system built on top of Livepeer's NFT contract rather than its underlying technology of streaming video. Sorry, streaming is the wrong word, but pass me the term.
Transcoding.
Transcoding. I don't personally have a question regarding like any questions for orchestrators yet. Other than the one that I made before that spawned from the conversation about metadata. But yeah,
Okay.
nothing comes to mind at the moment.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think that's actually shows you have a good understanding of how the protocol works. That as orchestrators, we basically receive the work and we transcode it, send it back, and we don't really have any input on what happens to the video other than just making sure it gets back in time. So, yeah.
Right. Thanks for that.
All right. As I'll give one last chance for anyone who wants to either comment or ask a question, and then after that, we'll move on to our second guest today. All right. Well, I would like to thank everyone that showed up for Video Oracle to explain what's going on with that, and invite you guys to come back if there's ever anything new or that you want to let us know about. And I also invite you to stay for the rest of this if you want, or if you want to take off, totally cool too. So thank you guys.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, I'll just definitely stay. Like, I want to hear what other people are building in the community. And overall, thank you, Papa. You've been an amazing host. And thank you to everybody for the questions.
Thank you guys for coming. Okay. Wait, Tony, where'd you go? Oh, there he is. Oh, sorry.
I'm here.
Yeah, sorry. I was like, there's so many people on the screen here. I was like, where did he go? You moved. Someone jumped off and you moved into a different spot. All right, Tony. So, Tony, I'll just give a quick little introduction to you. I mean, I just want to say this is Tony from, and I guess you can tell from his name, from Web3 Eddie, and he's going to tell us about what he's working on. And I don't know if you have a demo for us or not, but take it away, Tony.
Okay, great. So everybody in the room, there's some in the side channel. I put some links in there. Please take those. I don't know whether the screen share app that I'm using is app that I'm using is gonna work. So it'd be a good idea to sort of check those links out. And then as I'm talking, it should kind of make sense as we go along. So Web 380, what is Web 380? Web 380 is a decentralized education platform. And so the goal is that we want to basically put education on chain. So I'm sure you all know about Udemy. I'm sure you all know about Coursera. Beautiful platforms, deliver amazing education, amazing courses. But the one limitation is that, if you find yourself in the wrong part of the world at the wrong time, it's kind of like, they go away and they take your learning history and they take your credentials, right? And so at Web 380, we said, ooh, that's not so good. So basically, we've created this platform, which is still very much in development. So the focus of this talk is around the broadcasting aspects of it. But in a nutshell, what Web 380 is supposed to do is that when you've basically been on your course, it's supposed to provide you a context of interactive learning, social learning, and it's also supposed to basically take your credentials. So when you get your certificate, it's minted as an NFT, they're given to your wallet, and then your entire course experience. So the thing is that because we have interactive modules, you're probably going to go to courses where you'll have, your tutor, or you may have speakers, and you'll get great nuggets of knowledge, from those discussions. So we don't want you to lose that. And so what we do is we mint the entire course experience and we bung that again into your wallet. So basically, once you finish the course, you've got a lot of information, but most importantly, your data is now portable. So if you decide to leave Web 380, you're taking your data with you. Bye. You can use it in different contexts. So the thing is that we want to also make sure that there's a well-documented open standard. So the thing is that, you can write your own tools and you can do some amazing things which we haven't thought about. Okay, great. So now I'm gonna put a link in the chat for a share, screen share. So if you'll pop over there, yeah, let me know if it works, and if it doesn't, I'll tell you what we're looking at.
Over there. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Seems to be working on my end here.
Okay.
Is everyone else tuning in or taking a look at this too?
Yep.
Just want to make sure I'm not the only one that it's working for. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what we have on the screen at the moment, this is the what we worked on, and we're gonna basically package this up, clean it up, and basically make this open source for you as the Livepeer community, because we believe that you're probably going to find it useful in some of your projects, because we found it very, very handy in terms of sort of like what we're doing. So one of the things about Web 380 is that we have to support, sort of like multiple different roles in terms of sort of like what we're trying to do. So we have to broadcast to students, we have to broadcast to candidates, and we have to broadcast to our own community, right? And that's for starters. So one thing, when we started engaging with Livepeer and on-chain transcoding, we were like, oh, wow, this is great, right? But the thing was that there was no way for us to actually control what broadcasts are happening when. So we came up with this basically broadcast framework, which is entirely on chain. And what it does is it allows us.
Sorry to interrupt you, Tony. I'm on the screen sharing thing, but at first I have it's like a video that's starting, and I don't know if I'm on the right spot or if I'm just at like a generic page.
Yeah.
Or, like, is anyone else? What's everyone else seeing?
It seems like
Yeah,
it's
same
only
thing.
for two people. It's like a peer-to-peer. You can't share.
All right.
Once.
Okay. So that probably blew up.
Okay.
So you need to get the other link, which is app.diagrams.net, and then check that one, because that's what you should be looking at.
Let's take a look. Now it's loading.
So just
flowchart maker coming up here. Let's see if that
hang up
works.
that one.
Works. Google here. I don't have a Google account on this machine here, so.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Give me 2 seconds. I will basically screen snap it, and then the thing is that you've got it. Yeah. So give me a snip. Yeah. Give me a second. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. We'll make that work. All right. All right. Copy that. All right. It's in the chat, and there we go. Right. It's in the chat. It's uploading. It's there.
I got
right. You got it? Awesome. Right. Okay. So this is the broadcast contract design, right? So what it does is that it provides us with multiple stages, because as I was saying earlier, we've got multiple constituents that we have to sort of broadcast and satisfy. And in terms of our educators, they're going to be talking to lots of different communities. Right. One of the things which we're investigating, and the answer's still out, is sort of like audio transcoding, because the thing is that what we want to do is offer signal-like features whereby classes can basically just be like audio only, and you can have your teacher talking and presenting and doing all sorts of amazing things, but that's another discussion. So how these contracts work is that they basically work in conjunction with the Livepeer Studio API, and what they do is they provide you with a carousel, right? Okay, so it's a programming carousel like the ones you see on TV. So they make sure that, they allow you to basically schedule, various broadcasts at particular times, and make sure that you're in control of what people are seeing at particular points in time. Yeah. So we use this to coordinate what we're showing on any given stage at any given time. Because in terms of our educators, they can be broadcasting to a school, because when you come to Web 380 as an educator, you're going to get a school. Yes, that's right. You get a school, and that's where you curate your courses and sort of like manage your school community. In your school, you can have communities. And so the thing is that you can broadcast to communities, specific ones. And then the thing is that before you become a student with Web 380, you typically become a candidate, and that's basically to allow you to try it out, make sure that it's a good fit for you and the learning that you want to do. And so the thing is, we have a candidate stage, which is what we're going to demo today, and that's basically where the candidates kind of like go in and they see and all the things that Web 380 can do, and then hopefully they become students. We have the campus stage, which is an open stage, which is in the front, and basically that broadcasts whatever we pick. In the live version, what that will be broadcasting is stuff that's going on within Web 380. That's sort of like picked at random, and a lot of other very interesting sort of selection mechanics, shall we say. So yeah, so basically that's sort of like how Web 380 works, and this is sort of like the reason why we were inquiring earlier in the year about what they call it, on-chain billing, because the thing is that because we have such a massive estate, on-chain billing kind of makes sense, so that as people consume, they pay, because it's very difficult to keep track of 1,000 people, let alone 100,000 people who are all working on this platform simultaneously. Okay, so to see the actual, does anybody have any questions at this point about the contract framework? Yes, 1, 2, 3, done. Okay, so right, so now if you go to the main page, which I think I put also in the chat, right? So no, I might not have put that in the chat actually. Give me a second, let me just put that in here. So I've added a link in the chat, which basically takes us to the campus stage, and well, it is to the campus. So basically, the campus is the main page for Web 380, right? And so this is what displays the whole of Web 380 and sort of like its full gamut of initial features, right? I say initial because the thing is that we want to bring a whole lot more than what you're seeing today, but due to the constraints of time, we've been able to get this far, and so the thing is that we'll be getting even further, and so we will definitely come back and present to you how far we've got. We've got a marketplace where you can basically trade your courses. We've got a courtyard, which is basically where all the schools are located, so you can select which school you actually want to go to. We've got communities where you can go and meet people who are like-minded with you. Galleries, because Web 380 is powered entirely by NFTs, right? We haven't put that in yet because it's like we're working on everything else around it before we actually put that in, because that's a bit of a job. And then we've got access, minting your access, where of course to get your NFT. And then we've got the candidate rostrum. So there's a link to that, which you're going to see just now. So in the candidate rostrum is sort of like a foyer where basically candidates can come in, have a look, see what's going on, and then decide whether they want to upgrade their NFT to becoming a student NFT, and then have full access to everything that Web 380 provides. The reason we have to do that is because the thing is we have to provide storage and other features, and unfortunately, those things are not free. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And then we have the educator workroom, right? Now, the educator workroom is where the educators actually go in and actually create their courses, and that's where they do their broadcasts from. Yeah. Okay. So to give you guys a demo, I would like you to go to the candidate rostrum. There's a link in the chat. I think it was the first one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stream my desktop, right? I would have liked you to show you the educator workroom at the same time, but seeing as the share link is not working, that wouldn't be great. And oh, by the way, a shout out to Palm and Frank for their stellar testing effort. I did not forget you guys. Okay, I did not forget you. So basically what we're going to do now is we're going to create a quick event, which is basically a demo event. And what this is that we're just going to create a simple demo, which will basically just live stream my screen to the candidate rostrum, right? And then you guys should be able to see that. At the moment, the rostrum should kind of be displaying, I believe, a show reel. If anyone wants to confirm that they're seeing a show reel, so basically just the Web 380 going around and around and doing stuff. So
I clicked on the link that was in the
mhm.
it was in the menu. Do I need to go back to the actual link that you posted?
No. The link in the menu is fine.
Okay,
The link in
because
the menu is fine.
I'm not seeing
Yeah.
the carousel. I'm just seeing a blank like video player. I don't know if anyone else can.
Yeah.
And the candidate, yeah, you're seeing a blank video player. So the thing is, I think if you click play, it should give you the Web 380, basically what they call a filler. Yeah, and then that should just basically go round and round.
Don't have play. I mean, I don't have a play button. Yeah.
Bugger! I'm so sorry, guys. You have to be connected to the blockchain. My bad. You have to be connected to the Arbitrum testnet, right? Arbitrary account, any account, right? But you have to be connected to the Arbitrum testnet. Sorry, big assumption on my part. So the thing is, Web 380 works completely on chain. Yeah. So we take decentralization very seriously. So there are no servers with Web 380. Zero. Zero. Right? We basically use the blockchain for execution, and we use decentralized storage to store everything else. In terms of our hosting, we're currently on Fleek, as I'm sure you can see in the sort of like the main name. But if you want to use Web 380, you have to be connected to the Arbitrum testnet.
The
because
testnet,
otherwise,
the Nitro one or the regular Arbitrum testnet?
just the regular Arbitrum testnet, yeah. Just the regular Arbitrum testnet, yeah. Because yeah, that's it. Right? You don't need to have any gas as a candidate. If we wanted to do a broadcast, then you'd need to have some gas. But yeah.
Let me refresh the page and see if it asks me for my quality guy, because I closed it when it asked the first time. I wasn't logged in.
Yes.
Let's pick that out there. Okay, there we go.
Got it?
Got it.
Awesome. Yes. So yeah, so that's the fundament of Web 380 is that, you can be online, we look okay, but it's when you're on chain that we sort of flourish. Yeah. So that's the other big difference between us and, Udemy, Coursera, and everybody else is that we're on chain. So all the data and the content is on chain and is totally decentralized, and there are no servers. Right? And we are going to be working very hard to make sure there are no servers and there never will be any servers. So, right. So now you can see the carousel, and the carousel is probably going round and round. And so now what I'm going to do is create a quick event, which should basically broadcast to the candidate roster. Yeah. Now, if any of you decide to use this site, by the way, is just going to remain as it is, frozen in time, for you guys to go around and have a play with. So the thing is that, if you have any questions, do feel free to ask me, right? Because the thing is that we'll be building the rest of Web 380. But the thing is that for this grant, we wanted people to see sort of like, what Livepeer can actually do and how amazing it is. So the thing is that we're sort of leaving this for everybody as sort of like a community thing for everybody to be able to do some stuff. And we'll be doing some fixes and upgrading a few things to make it a bit easier, but that's essentially what it is. Yeah. Right. So basically what I'm doing at the moment in the educator workroom is that I've gone to the create quick event tab, fill that for all in, and then I've created my quick event, right? Now my quick event has been created. The thing to note about the events is that the events are actually smart contracts, right? So the thing is they have their own smart contract life. And so the thing is they're always going to be there, right? And if you go into the event manager, if you're playing around, you'll be able to see your smart contracts there as well. Yeah. When you are broadcasting, if you decide that you're brave enough to do that, you do need to go chain live, not just live in your OBS. You also have to go chain live. The reason you have to go chain live is because the thing is that you have to update the carousel that is in the smart contract in the framework that I showed you to tell it that, yeah, I want to broadcast now, right? And the thing is, based on whatever's going on in the carousel, it'll tell you, yeah, okay, you can do it. or no, there are other people who have got priority over you. So the thing is, you kind of gotta wait. Yeah. Okay. Right. So now my broadcast has gone chain live, and I'm just gonna give it a couple of moments. And then right. Okay. So now, if you refresh your screen and you press play, you should see my screen, maybe.
Got the carousel again, if I'm in the right spot.
You still got the carousel. Hang on. I should have sent it. Yes, it did send it to the right place, and it should be delivering to that place. And my stream should be working. Hang on. Okay.
Is anyone else watching this? Can anyone else see it?
I'm trying, honestly. You mentioned the Arbitrum testnet. I
Yes.
tried both Rinkeby thoroughly, and the page isn't changing. As in, I can't click play on the video for both.
Okay. Okay. Give me a second.
Page are you guys on? I kind of
You should be on. You should be on in the candidate rostrum.
There's a link to it
okay.
in this side chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see the link.
All right. Give me a second.
I'm assuming I'm in the right. I'm in the candidate rostrum, but I just didn't know if there's more than one. If I need it, if I should go and click that.
No. There's only one. There's only one,
right,
but
so
it's shared by everybody. Yes.
Okay.
So you're in the right place. We're just waiting for the stream to catch up and basically start showing us some stuff.
I can see you. I can see your screen.
Oh, you can see my screen?
I should refresh.
Awesome. Because I can't see my screen. It's still waiting and loading. So it's probably trying to sort of like fill up its buffer or whatever. So
okay,
yes.
Now I can see it, and now it shows the event that's happening now. So okay, I'm good over here.
Right. Okay. Awesome. You see it. Awesome.
I can see it.
Great stuff.
I'm trying to see it. I don't know if I'm in the right spot.
Where are you?
It will be in the replay if you want, but
the happening now.
Yeah. So do you actually?
You should be in. Yeah, happening now is where it is. Yeah, in the candidate rostrum. Yeah.
So am I just waiting? Because it's got a buffer or something. Eh? You guys just waited and then it popped up.
I refreshed it, and then it came up when I refreshed after.
Yeah, same. Refreshing.
So in a nutshell, that is sort of like where we are with our broadcasting on Web380. We're going to make it even more spectacular. At the moment, we're putting together the team and sort of like getting everything together. But the thing is that Livepeer has sort of like opened so many doors. It's just been an amazing experience, sort of like building with it, because it's like, wow, even more. Wow, I can't say anymore. Wow. So, and then one of the other things which we're going to be looking to do as well is see how we can do like comms and stuff like that. So there's a lot. There's a lot. that we're going to be doing with sort of like Livepeer, and sort of like trying to, accelerate the protocol in its development so that we can get these amazing features out, to our communities, and basically evolve education, yeah, rather than revolutionize, because that gets us in trouble. Questions?
You did a great job of explaining it. Does anyone have questions about what Tony has demoed or anything else that Tony's mentioned?
Well, I love the platform. I wanted to say it looks really good, and even being an MVP. And I just wanted to ask, like, what do you think it's the main competitive advantage of having it decentralized and on chain?
It's cheaper. It is so much cheaper as the provider, because the thing is, all we have to worry about is what our communities are paying, right? With traditional Amazon, the thing is that, you're paying through the nose and you're bleeding and you're dying, right? With Web380, on the other hand, is really the initial cost is deploying your contracts on chain. And then once your contracts are deployed, is then making sure that your user interface doesn't charge your users too much in terms of sort of like their daily activities, and making sure that it's very, very efficient. So that's one of the big competitive advantages of having it on chain. The other thing is that you also have different issues, completely different issues. So in a server-hosted environment, right, one of the things which you're going to struggle with is that, you're going to struggle with uptime. You have to keep monitoring your servers, and you're going to invest a lot of money, just keeping that estate going. When you're deployed on chain, right, your only real concern is that, did the programmers program this thing correctly? Right? And are you going to reach any smart contract limits, which the blockchain is going to say, sorry, your contract's misbehaving. I'm just going to stop that and park that, right? So those are the biggest sort of like competitive differences that are there. And the way we've seen it is that working on chain is so much more lightweight, because the thing is that in terms of administration, you're really looking about, providing interfaces to your contracts for your operational staff, and then managing that operational budget, unless of course you make it gasless, whereby you can use different sort of management models in terms of sort of like how you run things on a day-to-day basis. Whereas with things like Amazon, they don't care what you're doing, you just keep paying, right? You just keep paying. So I would say that working on chain is much better, because it'll allow you to innovate more, innovate faster, and your cost concerns are very different and in a way more friendly than what you get today with your traditional hosting platforms. In other words, if I die tomorrow, Web380 is still going to keep living for the next 100 years, or at least until Ethereum decides it wants to go a different way with its smart contracts, or it wants to die.
Okay,
Oh,
makes sense. Thank you.
I do have a question. When you mentioned that, if you want to take your work and leave with your content, what was that? Is that for the educator, or how does that work? How would that work?
Right. So what happens is that in terms of the content that's put on Web380, the educators will put up content. So the thing is, they'll put up their text, they'll put up their videos, and then they may mandate, active classes. So the thing is, in order to finish a course, you have to attend maybe 2 or 3 classes, right, with the educator, and they have their schedules posted, and you go to that interactive class. So what happens is that for the student, right, when they finish the course, pass or fail, they basically get their credential, minted as an NFT, and then they get the whole course experience. So all of the tests that they did fully filled out, right? That's all minted. All of the text that they read, that's all minted. For the educator, if they want to leave with their content, they're more than welcome to. But the point is that they won't be able to offer those courses again, right, to other students who come in. And unlike sort of like Udemy, because one of the things Udemy does is that it says that, once you post your content, that's it, right? Okay, it stays here forever and ever and ever and ever. You can't take it down, right? But with Web380, what that means is that, an educator can actually remove their course content completely from the platform, right? Because the thing is that in terms of all the students that partook in that course content, they have their own copies, right, of that content, right, as they participated in that content. It's sort of like, I'm not sure how many people here remember the time when you had books in school. And basically, you come to school, the school would give you a book, you'd write all your notes and things in the book. And then the thing is you take that book home, and then when you left the school, you keep your book, right? It's the same sort of principle.
Got it. It was actually a very good explanation. Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions for Eddie? I'm sorry, for Tony.
Quick
Go on.
question, Tony. I'm Mike. How are you doing?
Mike, nice to meet you.
Just didn't know if you had any thoughts on privacy concerns. Like, maybe I'm a little self-conscious and I don't want you to see that I failed 5 times before I actually passed it. Like, I mean, maybe that's basic, but they're probably a bit broader concerns. Can you talk on what your thoughts are on privacy?
So with respect to privacy, your credentials are exactly that, your credentials, right? So the thing is that the context within which we issue your credentials is that we issue them to you. We don't share them out and like put them on a board and say, oh, everybody in this class, sort of like, these people got these marks and so on. That's not the premise of Web 380. The idea is that, when you get your credential is unique to you. In terms of your educator and their understanding of what's been going on in their class, you are a statistic. Yeah, I hate that word, but yes, you're a number to your educator, and they say, this number of students sort of like passed, this number of students sort of like failed, and basically this is the sort of variations that you have with respect to the performance of your students. Our view is that in terms of the privacy, the goal is that, because we have interactive learning and social learning, right? Only the people who were in that class at that time will have a copy of what happened there, right? And they're free to do what they want with that copy. So if they want to, so for example, if you had like Tony Robbins come and give an amazing, sort of like lecture, right? You're going to get that copy. And then if you're like, oh, wow, Tony Robbins is dead now, this is worth $100,000, I want to sell it. You can then sell it, but it's only that one copy, right? Okay, that's how that is sort of like protected. In terms of doing things like encryption and so on, our view is that we would be incorporating that with respect to perhaps sort of like more of your text data and things that, people, if they see that, that wouldn't be really great. Or people, if they spied on you, we would not want them to see that. But our view is that the way Web 380 is designed to work is that we don't want you sharing personally identifiable data. So things like name, we're not interested in. Things like address, we're definitely not interested in. Obviously, your credit card number, you should not need that, right? And so that's sort of like how we're looking at, the privacy aspect, is that we want you to be there, but the thing is that we don't want you to expose yourself, because again, Web 380 is a platform that's designed to sort of like talk to so many constituents across the world to sort of help you find your tribe. So the thing is that, we want you to be there as a person, but the thing is that we don't want you to share things which potentially mean, somebody can stalk you and, maybe do something less pleasant. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you very much.
Awesome. Any other questions?
Oh, I was just gonna ask the same. Any other questions for Tony?
I just wanted to say thanks for that presentation. That's good work, and yeah, it's really cool. I can only imagine where this will go from here, so I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, I would like to thank you, Tony, for walking us through that and showing it to us. And it looks very exciting. And as it gets further along, you're welcome to come back and show us new stuff anytime.
I love your energy, man. Keep that up, man. It's infectious. I'm feeling ready to do a backflip off my chair just listening to you speak. So, and I'm smiling. So good work.
I could see Mike having a class on there too, so I would take one of those classes. All right, then I would like to get this going a little bit more in the towards the orchestrators today. So let's see. Well, oh, okay, we have a couple new people that have come in, so let me do a couple more introductions, and then I'm going to just kind of let people spit topics out and see where this goes. So, Mike, I know you've been talking a bit, and you're on the top line here, and you haven't introduced yourself. Tell us about yourself.
Hey guys, Mike Zuper. I'm running the Zodap Orchestrator since February. I think most of you guys know me. Um, just as a heads up for everybody, on the 14th of November, I will be on the spotlight for the Orchestrator Livepeer Twitter space. So if you have time on the 14th, it's I think it's 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. So please come take a look and check us out. I'll post it in the main org channel, and I'm sure Swiggy will also do the same. But I just wanted you to know that they're looking to put me up there and ask me 1,000 questions. So thanks. No topics, by the way.
All right, thanks for being here, Mike, as always. Flo, do you want to introduce yourself, and do you have a topic for today? All right. If your mic isn't working, we can come back to you, or you can just hang out. And Mattia, I don't think we've seen you here before. Do you have a? You want to introduce yourself?
Hey, yeah, sure. So, yeah, I was here mainly for listening to the demos. I know the guys who made Video Oracle, and I was here to listen to them. Yeah, basically, I'm Matthias, so hi to all of you. I'm a Web3 developer. I work in a DeFi protocol built on top of Algorand. And yeah, like, would you like to know something else, or is that it?
I just wanted to, see who you were, and if you had any questions. Just wanted to let you ask anything you had on your mind, and appreciate you being here. All right. Oh, yes,
Yeah,
go ahead.
no, don't have any questions right now. All good.
And thank you for being
Welcome
here.
to the water cooler, man. Good to have you. Especially, I see quite a few new faces here. I hope all you guys, Flo, Code, the Zine, everybody, welcome.
Yeah, I think Mike, you missed some of the earlier stuff. There's a bunch of guys from Video Oracle here that did some. They did a presentation, and
I missed a presentation.
no, sorry,
I did
not a
read the
presentation, but
white
they walked through their tech, and you might want to catch that
Okay,
on
I'll
the
take that.
replay.
I'll catch
Yeah,
the review.
yeah. All right. Well, let's go into some. Let's see if anyone has any orchestrator related topics. I'm just gonna start at the Ben. Do you have anything on your mind today? Anything orchestrator related?
Sure, I guess probably something that's on a lot of our mind. Just curious if anyone's done any digging on what's going on with the streams over the last week or so. It seems like they've sort of gone a little haywire. Apparently, it's some BOD testing that's going on, but
Yeah, video
seeing
on
some,
demand.
yeah, seeing some other orchestrators who usually see a different stream count, and just watching that kind of plummet, it just confuses me a bit. Even if we were doing a lot of VOD testing, I don't know if that would change the actual flow of streams into the network. I'm just curious if anyone's looked into that at all.
I haven't seen anything obviously publicly in the Discord about that. But I certainly know that a bunch of us are all experiencing that exact same behavior. So other than that, I don't think there's anyone in here that's on the Livepeer team that would be able to answer that. So maybe that's something we should bring up in Discord. Maybe we should put something up in Discord and see if we can grab someone's attention from Livepeer core team and see if they've got something they can add to that, because I know there's a bunch of us that are wondering what's going on. All right, I will just keep going down the line. Pawn, I already asked you, or you during your intro, you said you don't have a topic unless you come up with one.
No, I didn't.
All right. Well, always good to have you here, Pawn. Mr. Mike Zuper, do you have a topic for today, or anything anything on your mind?
No, I'm definitely curious about the video demand streaming plummet concepts, choppy streams. I mean, obviously, I'm affected by it. So, if there's anyone we can grab to join, I'd like to dig into that.
Right.
Is it?
Yeah, go
Do
ahead,
you
Bill.
mind if I just ask a quick question? Do you
Of
know if
course.
this is new for Livepeer? Have they supported video on demand for a while, or is this some new testing that's going on?
I mean, I know that there's been video on demand, but I don't know if they opened up something new with it recently. So you know, I don't have any internal info that that you guys don't have. I don't. I see Varys is in the audience. I don't know if you can chat today, but I was just I noticed I've seen, like, from Varys' public dashboard, he's been affected by it pretty severely. So I was wondering if he has any ideas on it, if he can chat. But if not, we may just have to bring this up in Discord and try and just catch someone from the team's attention and maybe get a little more clarity on it,
Fair
because
enough.
I don't think anyone here knows, other than that we're just all feeling it. So if anyone has anything they want to add, jump in. But okay. And then Flo, I guess, Mouse Computing, you are, I'm assuming, listening in, or
Oh, yes.
okay. Did you have anything that you wanted to talk about today, or any topics?
Not from my side, it's okay.
Okay. Well,
I
thanks for
see
being.
that a lot of people have a problem with the new update, but from my side, it's okay.
Oh, you're talking about on the latest release of Livepeer
That's a
5.35?
good question. I
Yeah,
forgot about that. I didn't get a chance to test, but you said how long have you been running on the new update?
since the update, the first update.
And you have no issues, and your stream count, everything looks consistent?
Yes, I have no problem with it.
And if I
But
remember,
I don't. Oh, yeah, sorry.
oh, I didn't mean to cut you off, but if I remember, are you running Kubernetes
Yes,
setup? Yeah. So interesting. And
but
so,
it's still like a Docker, so if you are using Docker, it's the same. It's just for the orchestrator stuff.
Right. And did you manually change the path to get it to work properly?
Yeah, I change it.
Okay. I'm hoping I don't know if they've merged that yet. I know they applied a fix for it. I don't know if it's in a patch or if it's in the main release.
So is
I
the fix that they fixed the name, or is it the fix that they just fixed that it was broken?
It was the path, the starting point of the application.
Yeah, they changed it, but it broke their container. So I guess, Ben, you're saying is they're gonna fix it to use the correct path now?
I think they did fix it. I
They
just don't know
did.
where they put it.
Yeah, create a GitHub ticket and they fix it fast. And I send you a Docker Compose file, Ben, if you want to use it with the wrong entry path.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I'll probably just wait for the official one. I'm not in a major rush to update, but thank you.
I think it's fixed now.
Is it? Okay. I did try to deploy the container last week and it was still giving me issues, but I'll give it another shot.
Yeah, I had an issue too, and I just immediately abandoned it. So I figured I'd let the binary folks do the baking and testing, and it sounds like it seems stable. Maybe I'll do another round of updates this week too.
I can try after if they put the new version.
Yeah, definitely let us know if you do test it.
Yep, I will do that.
Thank you.
thanks. And then if I remember correctly, you were the one that actually posted in the in Discord about the path being wrong, correct?
Yes.
Thank you for that. Because yeah, I think that went by a bunch of people's heads, and so
Yeah, that was my
good
fault
catch.
because I tested the Docker image and immediately it was broken, and I posted in the announcement that it didn't work. And then I think Moz went in and gave the actual details. So thank you for filling in the folks where I left everyone hanging.
Yeah, no problem.
Good to hear though that you're having good luck with the latest release .35. I'm just going to jump over to Elite since you're back on. You ended up on the top row. How's it going today? Do you have a topic for today or any comments?
I just wanted to chime in on that topic about the latest release and the recent activity we saw with I think they're test streams or something. Maybe it's video on demand. But yeah, I should do an introduction quickly. Yeah, I'm John with Elite Encoder. I've been operating since October last year, and help out with development from time to time as well. Yeah, on that latest release, I'd submitted some feedback on like the timeout that they had put in there, and I know that they had made a change to that, but that part hasn't released yet. And we had rolled back to the older version for a little while, and then this past Sunday we went ahead and upgraded back to the point or the 0.35 release because we're excited to try out the price per broadcaster. And I mean, since streams are so crazy anyway, I just seem to be curious to see how it runs. But overall, seemed to be pretty good performance yesterday and today. And I think most of the concerns I had about the more recent release were just related to maybe some issues we had on our network side. But yeah, that's about it.
I have a question for
I've
you.
seen like,
Oh, sorry, go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh,
I was curious to know if you noticed any difference in stream stability from upgrading over the weekend. If do streams get any stickier? Because I'm still running the .34.
yeah,
I think a lot of
it's
people
really
are.
hard to say because of the test stuff that's been going on. So it's kind of a mixed bag now. But in general, yesterday went pretty good with stability, I think. Um, it's just even ever since last Thursday when they started those tests, it seems like some of those tests that come through will it almost like they disrupt regular streams, you know. Sometimes you'll get hit with a couple of those, and they're pretty heavy profile formats. I think a lot of orchestrators are being affected by that, where whatever's going, whether it's VOD or test, it's disrupting maybe their regular work. So aside from the release stability, I'm pretty confident with the release is all right, but uh, whatever these tests are that's going on, I think that's mostly maybe what's leading to some of the choppiness that we see lately. Um,
Yeah, no, I was
yeah,
just curious to know if maybe there was something in .35 that would help if people were running the
right.
old version, but you're not
I
seeing
was
a
thinking
big
that's a
difference
very
there.
good
Yeah.
theory too. I think it's probably a good point. That's likely. The biggest change that I know of that could be related to that was a timeout that was added. It's related to connection timeouts and file descriptors. So you can imagine if you're getting like a lot of streams coming and going and disconnecting, and where we've seen these tests come and go really quickly, I think there might be some benefits to upgrading to the newer release since it will time out any lingering connections.
That's actually a really interesting point.
It's more of a theory, but yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
no, I might have to
possible.
at least update one machine and see how it goes. Because yeah, when it first came out, I was just I saw a couple of posts of issues, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to hold off on this one until I get the all clear. But you bring up a good point there with the timeout thing. Um, well, thank you for your input
Yeah,
on that. Oh yeah, go ahead.
yeah. They did increase the timeout from I think it was 8 seconds to 10 minutes, which is a pretty big change. But that change has not been made to a release yet. So I think Frank had tested with that one a little bit. Curious if
A
there'd been any
10-minute
difference.
timeout? Really? That doesn't sound in any capacity correct.
Yeah, and there was no timeout before, I think, if I understand correctly, and that's why we were getting file descriptors.
Yeah,
fill out.
no timeout means wait indefinitely, but 10 minutes, geez, that seems like a very long wait.
Right.
Just
Like
to
big
quickly,
jump from 8 seconds to 10 minutes, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's massive. I did just try to deploy 0.35 again in a compose file, and it did not work. Same
Yeah,
issue. So guess they haven't merged whatever needs to be merged.
yeah, I tried to. It's not working. You need to add the entry point.
Right. And
And you said you posted that in the Discord somewhere, the entry point?
Yeah. Let me search that.
I'll find it. I mean, again, it's just the entry point. I should be able to do it myself. I just wanted to make sure it's correct because I want to test 3.5 with this choppy stream stuff. If this is
yeah,
related,
so
that helps. I want help.
I wrote the Docker version and the Kubernetes version.
I'm sure if you just do from
Just curious, off topic, Maz. I didn't know if did you use Helm for your Kubernetes deployment? Because the Livepeer had some Helm charts out there. Did you use that at all, or did you create your
No,
own and publish them?
no, I use mine.
Okay, so you just did like manifest files, or you wrote your own charts?
Yes, yeah. I'm using only manifest.
Okay, all right. Sorry. Go ahead, Papa Bear.
well,
Oh, I found it. Let me post again.
yeah, I'll try that. I mean, we just can't. I don't want to forget next patch comes around and it breaks again. Forget to take it out. Something I would do.
It's on Orchestrator support.
Yeah, thank you.
okay. Let's see here.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
it's
go
the
ahead.
wrong version. 5.
Yeah, 3.5. You're saying, right?
Yeah, fixed.
But did you put the entry? I don't see the entry point in there.
Mm. Oh, I think it's the wrong one. Wait.
That's the original one.
Was
Those
you
out here.
preparing it?
Yeah, it was the original one.
We keep you honest, man. Don't worry. We got you.
Oh, I think I just didn't write it.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to put anti-print. Yeah, I found it. It's this one.
Are you the substitute teacher for Titan today, Papa?
Yes.
Okay. Was that? I didn't know if that was purposeful.
He
Uh,
got third place in the hackathon. Titan did. Freaking
Here
awesome.
it is.
Oh yeah.
oh, wow,
Congrats.
I didn't see
I
that.
didn't know that. How did you find that out?
If you go to general chat, he posted it there.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, and what he made seemed pretty cool too. Definitely worth checking out.
I gotta check that out after
Global, dude. That's what's up. Look at that.
If anyone
Sorry,
wants to
good.
give it, no. So what did he make? I'm just kind of curious if we can just jump off topic for a minute.
Called Stream Seed, I believe, and it's like a private token gated video streaming and chat application.
Oh wow.
That's probably a really dumbed down way of explaining it, but it's very explained.
You have to invite him back next week to explain that to us. Tell us
Make
what
him
he worked on.
explain what he did.
Yes.
Buy a round of drinks for us all.
Right.
Well, I had no idea he was even participating in the hackathon. So that's
I didn't either.
yeah.
He
No,
mentioned it last week. I think he went to San Fran for it.
yeah, I knew he was in
Man,
San
that's
Fran.
awesome.
I thought he was just there, just networking. I didn't realize he was there participating in it. So awesome. Okay. Does anybody else have any topics they want to bring up? Any questions they have about orchestrating or really anything? 21, Speedy Bird. No one?
I'm just gonna try and change this entry point and see if it's
Okay.
Yeah.
Still learning lots here. I just gotta listen for a while.
All right. No problem.
I throw out an optimization topic. I recently learned about a tool called Smoke Ping, and some folks seem to be familiar with it. First, I'd heard of it a couple days ago, and we were able to implement that, and it's been pretty helpful in getting insight into our network performance. So what it allows you to do is you can set up a server offsite that sends ping requests.
pretty sweet.
There's to look into. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
My browser crashed. Did I?
Sundara, actually, he told me he was one of the developers on that long ago. So he's been a great resource in asking questions about it too.
My browser crashed, or at least my Discord crashed. So I missed part of that there, but yeah, I'm not going to make you repeat it. Although I did see you
No, you just
send.
found a tool to
Yeah.
help monitor network traffic and give you some metrics and insight there. Very useful.
Yeah.
I have to follow up with or go back into I saw you and Sundar were talking about that, so I might have to reread that, see if that's something that I can use myself.
It was really easy to set up. I've obviously recommended do it outside of your, if you have a VPS or something, you might use a different VPS, or if you have something on site like we do, you'll just use a VPS so that you have kind of a stable point to test from. Of course, your VPS could always have its own issues, but
ideally you want to have a wide sampling. If you could even run that thing on like a worker process out in Cloudflare across the edge, that might even be better. I don't know what the capabilities of that deployment look like.
I think it does support that. That's a good point, where you can have it ping from multiple locations at once and it aggregate that data together to if one of your test points isn't working great.
Wow, I'll have to take a look at that. That could be very helpful.
Yeah, it's a neat tool. It just really just for ping latency and if you're dropping packets or anything like that. We've seen a little. We're running about 25 milliseconds ping from our test location, but sometimes we can see it go to 30 or 35 milliseconds, and we've even been able to detect some packet loss at certain times of the day. So we're zeroing in on some of that and trying to upgrade our network equipment.
Are you able to figure out what's causing those things? I mean, is it just fluctuations in the network, or is it something that's maybe related to the number of streams you have, or?
Some of the latency is definitely related to load, but the actual packet loss we haven't really been able to zero. We haven't spent a lot of time. I just started to notice that a day or two ago. So we're still trying
I
to
had a
zero in
server
on
with it that I was being remotely hosted, and I was seeing a lot of packet loss on it, and I actually worked with the hosting company for a while, and we couldn't figure it out, and I ended up just switching to another hosting provider. So that's why I was curious to know. Mine was not from load, because I mean there would be times where there was nothing going on, and it was still just getting some really crazy slow uh, test scores, and they would always be at the the ones that happened at the same time of the day. So I was never able to actually track down what the cause was, but I was like, it's just too coincidental that it seems to always happen at that test that happens at around 10 a.m. every day. So
exactly.
So
yeah, that's what we're trying to look into too. I mean, like I said, we've seen the ping latency increase just a little bit when you have higher amount of streams. But yeah, I think if you're seeing a packet loss scenario, usually that's something else going on.
Well, anything you find out about that, please share with us, because I think a lot of people would like to know more about that.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great tool.
I'll definitely be checking that out and see what I can figure out about it. Well, let's see here. We still have, another 25 minutes that we can go, or we can wrap this up if no one else has any topics.
Just jump in and say thanks, Flo. There were no issues with the entry point at all. So I'm up and running on 0.35. Appreciate it again.
Well, while we got everybody here, I'm gonna ask the question. I started playing around again with this stream tester tool because I feel like anytime I make changes, your payouts stop, or you get these crazy wacky days like this weekend where streams are, you're at 15 1 second, you refresh your chart and you're down to 0. You know what I mean? It's like, for me, when it's like this, it's the time in which I most need something that I know and trust that works. That I feel like sending a stream through, getting metrics back, and being able to look at it and say, oh, okay, my infrastructure's fine. I'm good. Like, to me, it is super hard to feel comfortable with the 24-hour Vercel test metrics and all those things. So again, I'm going to build this tester tool. I just didn't know if I should enable it in a way that other orgs can send ad hoc streams to their infrastructure to test it out, or if it's just something that I'm going to use myself. But I'll just ask the question.
I've never used the stream tester, and I'm going to guess that most of us in here haven't. Can you kind of give us just a little?
Not the Livepeer one. I'm talking about like an easy to use web app where you just click and send a stream. You put in your your orc address or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to be like, download this code, fork the branch, run it, compile it, and then configure your this and that. Like, I don't want that. What I'm trying to do is a website where I can hit a button and it'll send a stream to my orc, and then get it transcoded, get back the results, and then like say, yep, everything looks good, or just give me a report that I can run, check it out every once in a while. Like, again, I would have been handy this weekend where, what I ended up doing was I fired up my broadcaster and I made sure the ETH was on there, and then I started a stream to my stuff just to make sure I'm looking at segments, they're coming through. They're not, like, if my broadcaster was choppy like the streams, I would have thought there was something wrong with the software. But I felt better knowing, that I was able to get my own streams through, and they were sticky. They lasted, a certain duration. I felt better, at least knowing that I shouldn't change my infrastructure with all this crazy stuff going on with Livepeer.
Oh, okay. So when you say you were messing around with the stream tester, you were talking about your own doing
Yeah,
it
I'm trying to
yourself, right?
build
Right.
one to
Yeah.
make
Okay.
sure I can prove for myself, but I didn't know if that was something that it was just for me, or if I felt like, if others felt like they'd have value in running their stream tester themselves, if there was interest in that.
And I've definitely seen a lot of people in the past ask for that that ability uh, to check, to be able to not have to, like you said, wait for the official test streams to come through. So
I'll throw this out there. I think it's a really great idea, and it would be really, I think, a nice feature if there was some type of authentication associated with it too, like that's associated with Orchestrator or something. I think that would be neat, a nice plus. Because I
Oh
know it
yeah,
costs
like
you some kind of money
using the
to
WebAuth
run it.
hook you're talking about, the
Uh,
WebAuth hook.
yeah, maybe that, or I was even thinking about like Orchestrator addresses would be kind of neat. Like if you, as long as you're an Orchestrator, you can use it or something would be kind of neat.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
I
know.
think the tool, what I was thinking would be, you plug in your ETH address, and then it would look up your service URI and then make a call to it, right?
Yeah.
So that it could send a stream. Now you could say, now, again, this is where just trying to figure out if it's valuable to other people, because I know what I like to do. I like to send to a particular node. If I got one in Frankfurt, I want to know what it's doing, or I want to know what New York's doing. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I also want to know what my service lookup looks like, right? When they do a ping and then they send the stream to it. Like, I want to know those kinds of things too. So I'm just curious if it matters to others. Otherwise, I'll just do it myself and build it out. But if I
Well,
know in advance that folks want to potentially reuse it, then it makes it a lot easier to build that in from the beginning.
I do want to mention too that the price per broadcaster function in the 0.35 release, Yeah, over the weekend we actually used that a little bit just to check our system too, to make sure it was streaming well, and that was really neat because finally we were able to upgrade to that. So you could actually set up an ETH address with that and set the price to 0 pixels 1, and then you can broadcast with no deposit to your own node, and then you can set your work address on your broadcaster to each node. So that's an option.
Ooh,
It's a little extra work
that
for
means
folks.
that you
Yeah.
could send test streams on the live net for anyone's org, and just as long as you have that ETH account that's going to send the stream in, you can get them at 0. Oh, I like that. Yo,
Yeah, as long
I
as
was
the
paying for my
orchestrator.
streams. I didn't even do that. I was paying for
Yeah.
them, so I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
I should have mentioned that first up front. Yeah, it's
Yeah, no, I forgot about. Well, I'm not only running 3.4 anyway, so you have to be
Yeah.
3.5 to do that. So I
Yeah.
wasn't upgraded, but I completely didn't even think about that. But yeah, that makes my testing a lot even easier. So
But that's really great that you're working with the stream tester, because I think that's the really next phase for our reliability dashboard. So I haven't even stepped into that. So if you've got that part even to a point of you understand how to use it, it would be a great starting point for building that out as well.
yeah, I kind of played with it. I didn't really use it. Like they got a lot of stuff involved in that thing. So like load testing, stress testing, like all kinds of stuff. So like I just ripped out. They have like this embedded broadcaster that they ported out of Livepeer. So I just ripped that embedded broadcaster out and put my own web app on top of it.
Share it with me. Thanks, Mike.
It's not really working. It's just one of those things I was trying. I mean, I told you guys, when we talked about, making a plugin for like Owncast and Media Network, that broadcaster, that embedded broadcaster that's in that stream tester tool is the workings for that. It's like the stripped down broadcaster logic without the node part of it, which is very useful.
Yeah, I was also just messing with you about not
I know.
telling me about it.
Anything that I get working, you guys are going to be the first to check it out. So it's just one of those things where, not quite ready, and it doesn't work right, and it costs money. So those are the kinds of things I keep in my playground until it grows up a little bit.
Well, to answer your question, I do think that would be of interest to quite a few orchestrators. So if it helps to know that in advance when you're building it out, yeah, consider that there will be orchestrators who would like to use that. So,
All right, cool.
Does anybody else have anything else they want to bring up before we wrap up this weekly water cooler chat? Once, going twice. No more topics. Okay. All right. I guess we're going to wrap this up. Thanks for both the guests that came. Thanks for all the orchestrators that were here. And if I missed anyone, thank you for being here too. All right. I guess.
Check us out on Twitter Live Spaces, November 14th, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, to look at the Orchestrator Spotlight, which happens to be me this edition.
We'll definitely be
Looking
there.
forward to it.
All right, guys. We will meet here next week and see you all then.
Thanks all. Have a good one.
Hey guys.
Thanks, everybody. Nice meeting you.
Thank you. Bye.